there. Did you miss me? Well, I'm back. I got off my routine there for a while, and I had some things come up, and I've been missing doing these. But I'm back, and excited to be here. So, what is this? This is the Week in Viz of the Day, where we take an objective, learning-first view at some of the most recent Viz of the Day winners, and we break it down into very easy, it's right over there, bars, lines, dots, and everything else. That's it. That's all Tableau is. So we're gonna look at some of the most recent winners and see what we can learn from them. So let's go. All right, so the first one that we're going to be taking a look at is the UK exports after Brexit. This was done by Felix, who won last year's Iron Viz competition, and this is a really nice visualization. It doesn't even look like it's made in Tableau. Almost, it looks like it's more of it looks really highly professional grade type of infographic that you might see out of one of the higher level graphic design programs, but it's a Tableau dashboard, so which is great because that means we get to dissect it. So there's really nothing, again, like most of these that we've seen, there's really nothing overly technical going on here. It's just really well designed, excellent user experience, and quick and easy to understand. So this is a really nice diverging bar chart. There's other different chart names for this, bikini chart or a population pyramid. It's that similar style of thing. But basically what he's done is he's simply just he separated out the positive, the monthly increases from the monthly decreases. He's put those on separate sheets, and then he's created a separate sheet for the year. So you can see all of these are individual marks. And so this is actually 3 sheets stacked on top of each other. But what's really nice about this is that all of these icons up at the top, they're interactive, right? So if you hover on one, it will change the values of the bars, and it will also change the title, right? So again, this is also nothing new. He went out, he mentioned it down in his credits. He got the icons from Shutterstock, and he put those in there. Probably put those. This is probably another sheet of where the output type is on shape, so it's a shape mark, and then he just inputted a shape file. He just imported his shape files onto the sheet, and then he just created a filter hover action, which is really nice. And I think, especially with animations now being a thing, I think the filter to hover, or hover to filter, I should say, the hover to filter works really nicely with this, because you can see things. It's much more intuitive that, oh, things are changing, as opposed to the other way, which was things just changed, and if you blinked, you missed it. But with this, you're able to control the amount of time it takes for the transition to happen, so it's a little bit more in your face. It's a little bit more intuitive to the user that, oh yeah, things are changing. So really love this. I also really love the background image. It works perfectly for this. It's got a whole lot of negative space out here, and it looks like it's it's got a whole lot of space out here that Christian was able to see this and be like, oh yeah, I can put a chart over in this water here. And then he's got a really nice title. It's just a really clean I don't know if he did this actually or not, but it looked like he may have eyedroppered one of these shipping containers to get the yellow. Perhaps not, but it works really well. The yellow really pops out. The yellow bars and the yellow shipping containers really do a nice job of popping together. So nicely done. Really love it, and definitely encourage everyone to go check this out. And yeah, so good job. Okay, so this next one that we're going to be taking a look at comes to us from the wizards over at Starschema. The stuff that they put out is really incredible. So kudos to them. As you can see, we are taking a look at a map, but this is not just any map. This is a map that is using one of the new features in 2020.4 map layers. It's got several map layers going on in this, and it's just a really interesting data set as well. Basically, the folks in Namibia, the Etosha National Park, they put GPS collars on all of their elephants, and which is just really, it's just a really interesting way to think about that, right? So what they've done, and then they map it, right? They release it out for people to study up on, look at, visualize in this case, and you can really see some interesting things. So what's really cool is not just the map itself, but what Starschema has also done really well is allowed you to allow the end user to define what the map looks like. And so they've got a little hidden container here, which opens up a wealth of options here. You actually get to define the layers that are shown in the map, which I think is really cool. So they're using these are parameter actions. Both the little slider, the on and off slider, is a parameter action, and the actual map mark layer underneath under the hood in the map is also driven by parameters based on whether or not this is on or off. So you can select a year, you can choose what you're coloring by. So parameters are heavily used in this one. And I think this is just really, really cool. So you can come in here and you can say, maybe I want to take my points off. So I don't want to see points, but maybe I want to see lines instead. So I want to see the actual track that the elephants kind of made as they kind of went about their days. And then you can select. So this is a really fun one to just go in and oh, this is really cool. So if we take this off, let's take lines off. So now you can see by elephant. It looks like perhaps you can see the total polygon shape that the elephants explored. So, elephants appear to be very territorial. They have their territory, and they know the boundaries of it. So that's really cool as well. So yeah, I really enjoy digging into this and looking at all the different parts and pieces of that, which is really cool. So nicely done by the folks at Starschema. Definitely check out map layers. I've got a link down in the description to kind of get you started on map layers, as well as how to use the new show and hide containers that came out a couple of releases ago. So definitely go check that out. It's a good one. All right. This next one covers one of my favorite topics, hashtag data plus music. And really cool, really interesting. I didn't know this. Julia Michaels, who released a really popular song a couple of years ago, Issues. She is actually more well known as a writer of songs, as a pop songwriter. That's kind of where she's done things. She's more of a songwriter, but she's got some songs. She performed some songs, and you can see here really quickly that she has a songwriter credit for 94 songs, and she only has a performing credit for 21 songs. So, which I think is really, really cool. So, what's interesting is kind of going in here and looking at all of the different songs and all of the different artists that she has written songs for. So, you can go in here. I really like the concentric circles that Priyanka has done here. It really kind of adds a nice little onion chart or a layer chart. What's really cool is you can see, by hovering on each of the onion layers, you can see what songs they were, what the name of the song was, and then up here you can see who actually performed it. So I really like the onion chart here. It really kind of shows the different layers of Julia Michaels' talent as a songwriter and a performer. So really cool there. And it really just kind of highlights the diversity, right? So, she's got most of them are pop, pop artists, but yeah. So, and then right up here, she's got this nice little this radial dot plot here to show the songs as well by artist, I believe. Yes. So a similar view of a similar view of this data, but it is just shown in a different way. So what's also interesting here, she's written some Britney Spears songs, so that's definitely cool. So you can go check out some songs by Julia Michaels. Another thing I really like about this chart is the color options that Priyanka went with. This teal color and the purple color really kind of pop off the screen here. And I really like this kind of, looks like she has some sort of an effect going on with the letters here, kind of kind of like a neon light type of halo shadow effect. So that works really well as well. Again, really well designed. Everything's nice and clean. The colors really pop off. It's a really nice chart. So nicely done, Priyanka. All right, next up, we're back to map layers. It's a really popular new feature. People are really loving it. And this one is another great example of it. So this is by T, and she is doing a map of Singapore, which is where she resides. And it is basically helping people understand the density and housing and infrastructure of her country, of Singapore. So a couple things that I really like about this particular viz is I like how she's showing just how really kind of diverse, eco-diverse, I should say, this is. And she even points it out. They've got 52 parks in Singapore, as well as 32 aquatic facilities. So lots of swimming, lots of outdoor activities, which is really great. So and then so you can kind of go in here and kind of look at kind of where where things are populated, and you can select how the land is populated here. And then down below, you can what I really like here is she's got this bar chart. So with everything kind of going on with the density mark and the different shape files, and she's also got the rail lines also on here. It can be a little bit, it can almost be a little bit too much, but she's done a really great job of kind of breaking that down for us. It looks like maybe by county or by neighborhood or that type of thing. And what you can see is if you kind of click on one, the map zooms into just that area. So this helps kind of clean up the this kind of clean up the view, so you can kind of go in here and drill in and kind of start looking around and really kind of digging into some of this stuff, which is cool. So also really nice is down in here you can see just a map of all of the different rails, right? So they have a pretty great public transportation system set up in Singapore, which is nice. I wish I could say the same for everywhere, but I can't, so I won't. Anyway, I really like, again, you can see you can see the lines, the rail lines, as well as the shaded by population. So you can see how dense it is, and you can see if they're getting around to all of their different places. So again, really nice little really nice call out down here at the bottom to talk about where she got her icons and where she got data. So it's always good to see that. And also saying that the dwelling data is as of 2016, right? So this is things might have changed. So that's good. That's good to see as well. Yeah, so this is great. Other really nice thing about this, I really like these choices the team made, kind of like these red call out banner, this red kind of banner over here, and then these two circles that are kind of around it as well. So kind of gives it a nice flash of color. It's not in your face, it's just kind of there in the background, kind of help, again, trying to orient you and kind of take up some of that negative space. So really nicely done. And it looks like it looks like it takes use of the transparent sheet capabilities within Tableau as well. So that's really cool as well. So nicely done, T. And thank you for sharing a little bit more about your home country. All right, so this next one is for you bookworms out there. This is a really great quantified self dashboard by Dan, and what he's done is he is recording every book that he's read in 2021 so far. It looks like he's read about 14 books or so, 14, 15-ish, and which is great. It's about 14 or 15 more than I have read this year. And what I really like about this is that he basically goes and writes a little, he actually grades it on a scale that he came up with, which is really nice. And then he's kind of sorted these things. So I really like the different categories, especially I really like the rereading potential. Is this a desert island book? And I really like how you can kind of, by exploring this Viz, you can kind of get into his mind a little bit about how he goes about rating these things. So, which is nice. I also really like his little call out here in the background. He said, if you want to read any of these books, please use this independent bookstore website that links out to different independent bookstores. So please support your local independent bookstore. And as the husband of a public librarian, don't forget about your public libraries too. They have a lot of stuff. So anyway, definitely do that. And then, yeah, go check out his book and go check out this dashboard and see if there's anything you might want to read if you're looking for something new. Again, really great dashboard. I like the way that he's represented this. Lots of different ways you could have gone about this, but I think the pictograms really do a nice job of kind of visualizing this information. Little books for each rating, which is nice. And then, so I've got a link down in the description on how to go about creating pictograms for you to use as well. So I'm sure he's got this. I'm sure he's probably got this hooked up to a Google sheet that as he finishes a book, he just enters this in, and then it automatically gets updated into this. So definitely bookmark this and come back to it throughout the year, because I'm sure it will be updated. So thank you, Dan, for sharing, and congratulations on your Viz of the Day. All right. So again, I really enjoy this one. This is visualizing 50 of the best jazz trumpeters of all time. Again, hashtag Data Plus Music, and this is by Adam Green, and I think this is just a really innovative way to show longevity over time, where lots of things overlap. So this is basically the lifespan of 50 of the greatest trumpeters, and so while this it took me a minute to figure out exactly how he had built this. But this is just a connected scatter plot, right? So you've got the year going up here, and then you've got their age in years, and then you just connect the dots, right? So, which I think is a really cool way of doing this. What I also like this is he's got several annotations across the different years to show the different popular subgenres of jazz, and especially jazz trumpets. So, which is really cool. So you can see what era of jazz music had the highest number of trumpeters, and really quickly you can see that since 1980, there are quite a few of the top 50 that are falling within the eclecticism, which is interesting. And the other thing I really like about this chart is there's no rank, right? Especially us, data people and people in music, especially, they like to rank things. However, either by okay, so it is. Let's see, oh no, that's age. So yeah, that's really interesting. So there's no rank. It's just here are 50 of the best, and you can talk about amongst yourselves. You can debate amongst your friends and your peers who's the best and what's the best, but collectively, we all agree that these are the 50 best trumpeters, which I think is nice. So kind of gets you, and when you remove that ranking, it kind of adds it adds an interesting perspective to take a look at. So really cool. Definitely gives me some inspiration to go listen to some, open up my Spotify and go listen to some jazz trumpeters. So really, really nice job, Adam, and keep up the great work. All right, to wrap up this episode, we're going out with a bang. We started the year off. If you go back to episode 1 of this series, we started off with a Viz about Viz of the Days, and we're doing it again. So Will Sutton has created this amazing dashboard, and it is basically a Viz of the Days about Viz of the Days. The first one that we covered back in January, it covered just the last couple of years. This one is every single Viz of the day, which I think is really, really cool. So every single one dating all the way back to 2010. You can see lots of really interesting stuff here. As you hover over it, you can see, its size. The size of the bubble is right now is favorites, which is interesting because favorites wasn't a thing until just a few years ago, I think. And so what I think is really cool is to look at this not by favorites, but if you switch this parameter to size points by views. All right, so you can see this is really interesting, right? So now what you can see is like, okay, just by the number of views, you can see where are the really popular ones and the ones that are really popular from way back in the day, right? So, and as you can see, they are all hyperlinked. So you can look at one and go see. You can hyperlink them. You can click on one and then get to see that actual visualization, which just takes the interactivity up a notch. So really, I love this. You can spend so much time doing this and looking at it, which is really great. Amazing stuff. So so definitely go check this out. You can do a bunch of different. You can search by different keywords. And you can do you can color the dots by whether or not they're downloadable or not, which again I think is really cool. And then you can play with different sizes. So go back and check out some of the really awesome Viz of the days of yore, which I think is just really great. It's nicely done. I have heard. I think I saw on Twitter that the data set behind this is going to be made public. Not sure if that's happened yet or when that will happen, but definitely keep your eyes out for a public data set about Viz of the Day winners. I can't wait. It's going to be so much fun to play with and take a look at. This is, for many, the Viz of the Day is, I would say, the majority of people's first introduction to Tableau Public. So there's some really cool history behind Tableau Public and their Viz of the Days. So definitely go check this visualization out. Play with it. Find your favorites. Find new favorites from long time ago. One of the things that I really enjoy doing is going back and looking at some of the ones from 2012 and that time frame to see just how much we've grown as a community. Our analysis skills, but interestingly, when you go back and look at some of those Viz of the Days, some of the work still holds up to this day, right? I mean, it stands the test of time, which I think is really cool. So, congratulations to everyone who has ever won a Viz of the Day. And if you haven't, keep working at it. It's only a matter of time. You got this. Nicely done, Will. There we go. I'm back. I really enjoyed that. That was fun. Congratulations to all of those winners. I hope you learned something. I hope you got something out of it. And we'll see you next week. Go forth and Viz.